Kellyanne Conway was last seen on television 2 days after the Democrats announced their impeachment inquiry, and then suddenly Kellyanne Conway disappeared. Now, this is all according to a report in Politico that says that the White House, not necessarily Trump himself, but the White House, is doing their best to keep Kellyanne Conway away from reporters, away from the public, and off of our TVs because they don't want her committing any gaffes like Mick Mulvaney did when he essentially did his little impromptu press conference and admitted that, yeah, there was definitely a quid pro quo with Donald Trump and the president of Ukraine. Now, Kellyanne Conway has not been one in the past to make gaffes like that. Yes, she said lots of stupid things. She said lots of things that were completely lie. But she hasn't actually said something that has further implicated the president in any criminal activity, right? She's not a Rudy Giuliani. She's not a Mick Mulvaney. She's not a Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Kellyanne Conway, as horrible as she is, actually does a good job of staying on message and doing nothing except defending the president. So it is a little weird that they would try to hide her from the public. You know, they've got nothing but horrible people, but out of all the horrible people, she's the best at defending him. So that's why this is a little bit odd right now. You would think they would want her out there. They would want her misdirecting the public, lying to the public, doing all of these things because that's what she does. So here's my theory on why Kellyanne Conway has been put back into hiding right now. Because again, this is also not the first time they've done this with her. They've had to hide her away for several weeks, for multiple different times in the past. But here's what's happening right now. Donald Trump is obviously very unhappy with Mick Mulvaney. He went out there for his impromptu press conference, admitted to a quid pro quo in exchange for the aid that the U.S. was going to send. Trump wanted information about the DNC server, and he said to withhold it if you didn't give us that info. That is according to Mick Mulvaney. Trump doesn't want anything like that. He wants Mick Mulvaney out as chief of staff, according to reports. And, again, according to reports, he wants to replace him with Kellyanne Conway. So Kellyanne Conway right now has to play it cool. She's got to be squeaky clean. She can't go out there and say or do anything crazy, kind of like she did last week when she threatened a reporter who asked about her husband, or actually reported about her husband. Kellyanne Conway called the reporter, as we discussed last week. It said, "How would you like it if we start investigating your personal life? Maybe that's what we're going to do, huh?" And this was a conservative reporter, by the way. And they don't want anything like that happening right now. They want Kellyanne Conway to stay clean, to stay focused, to stay true. Because at the end of the day, she's going to be the only one left in this administration. Now, she has no credibility, but as long as she doesn't embarrass herself too much or embarrass the president ever, she still has a very good chance of taking that top spot and becoming the next chief of staff. And that, I believe, is why she's being hidden from the public. One of today's video sponsors is Impeach the Card Slap Game. While it's true you can't actually slap the President of the United States in person, you certainly can do it with Impeach the Card Slap Game. You can play with a friend. This is really great for parties. If you have any relatives who might be on the opposite side of the political spectrum, but they do have a sense of humor, this is a perfect game to get for them. And right now, when you check out using one of the links in the top of the video description here, use the code RINGOFFIRE to get 10% off your order. Again, if you look on Amazon, if you look on Etsy, the reviews of this game are absolutely phenomenal. People love it. They have tons of fun, and they're actually learning something while also slapping the president because the cards are filled with direct quotes and policy information about the Trump administration. So if you're looking to have a good time, learn something, and stick it to the Trump administration, follow the links at the top of the description of this video, use the code RINGOFFIRE, and order Impeach the Card Slap Game for 10% off.